do like my Honda Element, even though it does need a bath. I got inside the other day, so I put the key in, turned it on, went to start it, and nothing happens. But I know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's the battery right here. I bought this battery in April of 2013, and it's almost been 9 years. You're lucky to get 5 to 7 out of them, and most times you get 5, but this is a very good battery, and it's been real good to me. I've had to do nothing to it whatsoever. So I'm going to get another replacement just like it, and first thing I want to do is put a little lubricant, oh that's loose, on this, and now this should just pull off of the stud that's on the other side, but mine's stubborn, so got a pair of pliers, long nose. These have been really handy for me. Get underneath there and pull that off like that, and then set it aside. Now what I want to do is put a little lubricant on each one of these bolts. I want to back them off enough to where okay, just want to back them off enough to where the little arms can come loose from their hooks in the box. That was 10 millimeter. Now what you want to do is you want to take the negative cable off first, because if you accidentally slip when you're taking the positive cable off and hit any metal on the engine that's grounded, you'll get a spark, which is not good. So take your negative cable off first. I have a little grease on these. As you can see, they're not corroded. There's no corrosion on the terminals at all. If you had some corrosion and stuff and on your connections, your things, you can use some baking soda to clean it up with. Baking soda and water mix, doesn't take much. This is typical of most batteries. These have little hooks at the end of the bolts. You can see how that hooks into the tray. The bottom tray at the bottom where the battery sits. That just hooks in there anyway. They're loose enough, you can just pop it loose. And same on the other side. There. Then you can just lift this out. If this was corroded, you could clean it up with baking soda and water and a little cup. This battery is surrounded with a box type cover. It just lifts out. You see there's no dust in Arizona, and that seems to be what I have, is the no dust all over this. I'm going to use my old battery strap to help pull it out, but you can probably just reach in there and lift it out. These aren't very big, this battery. There's the date on the battery, but I did put it in April. If your battery tray is dirty, now's the time to take it out. And I'm going to go hose this down some. Before I put my battery box back in, I'm going to go ahead and clean these up a little bit. The wire brush. Sandpaper works just as well, sometimes better when your wire brush is wore out. Okay, I'm going to put the bottom part of my battery tray box back in. Two little nubs on the bottom of this, here and here. and they go in the two holes down here and here. Large part goes towards the engine, shields the battery, the heat from the manifold. Okay, now that the battery's sitting in there, I got to put the cover over it. More shield. Now for the hold down clamp piece. I like to turn these hooks towards the outside. That way there's less of a tendency of the battery shifting and moving and rubbing a hole in the bottom of it. So if these are turned to the outside, there's less of that chance. Now the idea is to tighten it down and keep those little arms in their respective holes down there. Okay, that should have that. I don't believe I've got it too tight. Got my hooks positioned towards the outside. Now I think I'm to the point where I need to reattach my battery cables. Start with the positive one first. That way if you slip, hit the frame, you won't be making any sparks. You can push that over that. Get it down good and snug. Let's see how the 10mm socket works. Believe it or not, $10mm socket might be a little easier than a wrench. -1. I know I took them loose with it, but tightening them back just does not seem to want to work very well. So 10mm socket again. I'm going to put a little something on the tops of these terminals and stuff to around them to maybe keep some of the oxidation down. I have used wheel bearing grease in the past, but I just happen to have something here that says battery terminals on it, so okay, get this guy down. Now, if I did my job right, we should have something that looks a little different inside. So let's put the key in the ignition and see if she starts up. Success! Now all I have to do is dig the code out, because the radio is not going to work. It says it wants a code. Your owner's manual should come with a code for the radio. From what I understand, the way to enter the code is to just enter it on the preset buttons here, and my code is 24151. There you go. I'll let this idle a little bit more while I write it down in my logbook what I did to it. And thank you all for subscribing and for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Yep, you guessed it. Bye for now.